we have a fresh out-of-the-box SSX303, and I will show you how I prepared it for what's coming. Here we have the manual. We will take the SSX out of the box. To remove the magazine, just pull the latch and set the magazine aside. First things first, I'm just gonna appreciate a fresh, new, good smelling rifle. Feels good. Let's not make this video too long. As with any other replica, first we will always clean the barrel because we want maximum accuracy. That's what I want for tomorrow. You get to see that in a few minutes. For cleaning the barrel, I'm actually gonna use the Novritsch cleaning kit, where we have the cleaning rod. Now I will prepare some cleaning patches. There we go. I have a feeling that 4 should be enough. Put patch like this. We will put a little bit of rubbing alcohol on it, because the rubbing alcohol helps to dissolve things, oils, dirt in the barrel, which is exactly what we want. And we will slowly move it in. There should be a little bit of friction. It should not be too easy, but if at any point it gets too stuck and you feel like you are breaking something, just remove it. If you feel that you might be on the hop-up, just release the hop-up a little bit by turning this wheel against the arrow, so that would be away from me. Release the hop-up and try again, or make the patch smaller because maybe the patch is just too big. You want it the correct size to clean it, but not to damage the hop-up bucking on the inside. I can feel that I'm going over the bucking, which is exactly what we want. We want to have a nice oil-free hop-up bucking on the inside. Now, as you can see, hopefully, patch is completely clean, so this step was not entirely necessary because the barrel is clean, but it is a very good practice no matter which replica you get. Doesn't need to be Novritsch. Always check and clean the barrel. Okay, the next thing what we will do is to look at how the system works, because it is quite important to know that. This pistol is basically on the inside. As you can see, the grip is the same. Now, when I pull the trigger, there is no magazine. You will see that the nozzle goes forward. That is the mechanism that pushes the BB into the barrel, and then it will shoot once the hammer drops. What is important to understand is that this loading nozzle, once it grabs a BB, the BB is already inside. There are 2 options when you decide to stop the firing process. The first thing is that you want to fire, you load the BB in, and you hear a click, and the hammer actually stays back. This is okay because it holds the nozzle forward, and once you decide to shoot, you can just finish the cycle and it will shoot just fine. Now, the second option that can happen is actually the important thing to know. If I decide to shoot but I change my mind, let's see what happens. I'm gonna push a little bit, but then I did change my mind. Notice that the hammer is not back. I already pulled the trigger a little bit and I pushed one BB out of the magazine into the barrel / chamber somewhere on the way. Now, as you can see on the picture that is on the screen, one BB is on the way. It's somewhere in between. It's outside of the magazine, but not fully in the barrel, and the hammer is back. That means that now when I decide to shoot again, I will actually load a second BB because the nozzle is all the way back, hammer is not half cocked. Be aware of this. This is actually one of the most common issues with this platform. Best case, it will just shoot 2 BBs out and you will not hit anything. Worst case, you will have to remove it, the magazine, get a cleaning rod, unjam it, and then you can use it again. How do you prevent this from happening? Simply when you change your mind and you are kind of on the trigger, BB is already on the way, just make sure that you go far enough until you hear a click and you make it ready to shoot. This way, the nozzle will stay forward and it will not load another BB. And then you can just fire. Now we can start putting it together. If you watch Novritsch, you know that I like short, compact rifles. I usually put a red dot on it, the red dot V3. This is my absolute favorite red dot. For this particular rifle though, I will have to admit that a better solution is the LPVO, because it gives you magnification from 0 or like 1 magnification, which is kind of like a red dot, all the way up to 4. And since I'm gonna be shooting 0.46 gram BBs, I want the range I'm gonna make it like a DMR for the game. And for that, this is better because it's a non-blowback gas rifle. Suppressor makes sense. We will try it. It will make it much quieter, not necessarily for you as the shooter, because you still have the hammer here. You will hear this, but it will make a big difference for the person that you're shooting at and for the surrounding. Enough talking, let's just put it on. Now, before you put on the optic completely, just try if it's the correct distance from your eye. This feels about right. When you look through it, you should not see like a tiny little image. It should be like all the way around the optic. That means it's at the right distance from your eye. Make sure to tighten these screws properly and enough, because sometimes when you are on the field, you see people who have the nuts loose and then they complain that they cannot hit anything. Well, if the scope is wobbling, it's kind of tough. And I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a tuck. Not too much, don't overdo it. It will not come loose easily. Make sure when you look through it that the reticle is completely vertical. You can actually look through it and align it with the rest of the rifle. Just make sure it's not canted to the side, because what would happen is that in the game you feel like, okay, the reticle should be horizontal, then you kind of aim and then you cant the rifle this way, and obviously the BB would turn that way because the hop-up gives it the spin and it will go to the side. This is also a very common thing that people do on the field. They don't adjust the scope properly and then they consistently have BBs flying to one side. This can be one of the reasons. Make sure it's perfectly vertical. You can align it with an edge of a building that is hopefully vertical. You can also use a bubble level. It's a little bit cumbersome. So I like to just, feel it, but I really take care that it's straight. We have the scope done. Now it's time for a suppressor. You have different choices when it comes to suppressors, but I am a fan of the rounded modular one. You can make it longer, you can make it shorter. This is the middle variant. I feel like this is about the correct length for this rifle. I don't want it too long, but I want it suppressed, so the middle is probably the right way to go. And apart from the cameras, which I will put on later so I can take you along for the game, we are basically done. We cleaned the barrel, we put the accessories we want on it. Obviously you could put hand stops, you could put like a pack box, light on it, whatever you like. But for me, this is all I need. This is what I'm gonna use along with the cameras. Now let's get to the suppressor testing part. You will see or hear how loud it is when I shoot from over there, which is actually quite a close range. So let's see what happens. That's how it sounds with the suppressor on. I bet it's probably very hard to hear, but you be the judge. Now, when it comes to hop-up adjustment, that is done with the wheel right here. As you can see, there is an arrow to indicate, and it's also fixed from the top, so very solid connection. How do you adjust it? You just turn with your finger towards the stock. You are adding the hop-up. If you turn away towards the muzzle, you are decreasing the hop-up, and that's determining how up the BB will travel. We'll do that tomorrow because I just don't have the range here. Now it's time to sight it in, set up the hop-up. It's quite a bit windy, you can probably tell by my hair. It's gonna be a tough game today, but we'll manage. I already know I need a little bit less hop-up, so I'm just gonna turn this wheel away from me towards the muzzle. Perfect, just on point. All right, that's it. That's how you prepare it for the game. Just take a little bit of time to sight it in, make sure the hop-up is correct, make sure the scope is correct. Now we just need to wait for the game. I'm gonna be taking a total of 3 magazines. Now, these are different, no pins. This is older version of the magazine. This one is pinned. It can happen that it starts leaking. When this happens, the pins are the only way inside. You have to pull it out and it's very hard to make it seal again. With this one, you have a screw here. So you can basically take your screwdriver, you can unscrew it, you can lube it, then you just put it in and you screw it in. No pins, it's very easy, very simple to disassemble, maintain it, and put it back together. The new one actually takes more BBs, 32 versus 28 BBs plus. If you notice here on the top, there is just a plastic bridge. If you let the follower just go, it can actually break. And here with the new one, we left a piece of metal there. Problem solved as well. This is a game changer, and I'm actually excited about these magazines. I'm gonna use the container for the gas. This is a refillable container. I can basically just put gas into a smaller package and take it with me, and I can refill on the spot while I'm playing. Also, as for a sling, I'm gonna use a QD sling right here, and of course the cameras. And yeah, that is pretty much it. The rest of the gear will be, my typical uniform with the plate carrier. The gun is ready. Let's jump straight into tomorrow for the company game. Alright, let's start with how the SSX303 feels in the hand. It's very lightweight and maneuverable. And here we have Dr. Reinhardt, seemingly somewhat cheating or not calling the first 2 hits. We will come back to this situation later in the game. The biggest advantage of the 303 is the quietness of the whole system. Which gives plenty of time for follow-up shots if I miss the first one. As I mentioned before, this is a close company game and only Novritsch employees are attending, making the whole atmosphere super friendly and chill. Woohoo! You cannot hide, Chris.
Yeah, see him.
The game mode is capture the flag, but because it's our company game, I concentrate more to hit some colleagues.
Empty! Last shot. Oh, there they are.
The trigger pull is a bit heavier than other replicas. That's because how the system works. Your finger basically charges a hammer on a spring and then releases it forward.
Marcel, woo!
Now, if you would want to shoot 20 shots in a row, your finger would get really tired, but for a couple of precise shots, it's okay. For close battle, I can always rely on my SSP-18.
Yep. Dr. Reinhardt,
Jawohl.
I have to file a complaint.
What is it?
3 shots it took you. Is this like metal or what?
We ask the questions here.
Assuming that the hits were clear just as I saw them, we will see from the footage, you see that you actually don't feel it sometimes. And Dr. Reinhardt, I'm sure he didn't.
Was redest du? Sprich Deutsch.
Just shoot more and it's fine. Sometimes these things happen and it's completely okay. And one more thing that I forgot to tell you about those magazines is the feeding lip has been modified. It's now more flexible, which should allow for smoother feeding and more durability as well. If you drop this, it's not gonna break so easily. So there you go. Okay, back to business. Let's get this flat.
Oh, sorry.
Here I'm having a bit of an issue with crosswind, and Dr. Reinhardt escapes, unfortunately. I'm running low on gas. Let's see if somebody has some.
You don't happen to have a Glock mag, huh?
He does.
Oh, can I have a Glock mag, please? Good, works. Thank you, you saved me.
Okay, there's one that
one?
you could shoot him. Are you left handed? No. So there's one that's like, as soon as you start speaking here, you'll see him, he's behind some tire wheels. The other one is a shield in the middle, but you cannot hit him because he's got a big shield.
Okay, I got hit. I can reload finally.
Because I'm using it as a DMR with heavy BBs, I need to have a sidearm. In my case, I took my trusty SSP-18, which is still the very first one that went off the production line. The moment he knew, he f***ed up. Now this was a perfect example of a situation where a suppressor makes sense. I was close enough to easily hear where the shot coming from, and if you notice on the footage, the people were not sure. I was still incognito, so perfect decision that I took the suppressor. Suppressors in Airsoft, sometimes they make sense.
Oh, team kill! Oh my god! It's okay. We will put it in the video that you ruined the whole action. Well, that was nice. Even though it was like a team kill, it's supposed to be fun, right? And this was fun. Don't get mad. It's not a big deal.
I got my revenge. Just kidding.
Oh, I just destroyed somebody's hopes and dreams. Ha 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 ha! Good action. Nice. Miro should be close. Got him, Dominic. Got him.
Bang bang? Really?
Oh. You did? Okay, I will call it. So right there, that was Jelena, our purchasing manager. That's the person who makes sure that our logistics is on point, that we buy the stuff that you actually want, and then subsequently you can buy. I wouldn't object the bang bang rule. That's been it for today's video with the SSX303. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.